Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about three things. The first one is data science, the second one is data analytics, and the third one is machine learning. I'll tell you now what the common denominator between the three things is. The common denominator is data. There is no data science without data. There is no data analytics without data. And there is no machine learning without data. Maybe that's a useful starting point and a useful thought to reflect upon. So what is data science then? Let's look at exactly what data science is, and I want to do it in very, very simple terms so that we understand it fully, or at least get a comprehension that we can build upon. The name data science itself is not one thing. It comprises of two parts, the data part and the science part. So when we apply the scientific method to gain insight from data, this is what data science is all about. So you might ask me then, what then is the scientific method all about? I think I'll take you back way into perhaps high school or even the first years of university experience to just remind you that the scientific method involves understanding phenomena, discovering things around us using observation, techniques such as observation, seeing and understanding things by seeing, or by experimentation and mathematical analysis to an extent. There are other techniques for discovering knowledge using the scientific method, but the idea there is those techniques are empirical. So data science applies especially mathematical analysis, and one key aspect of data analysis is the use of statistics to understand or to try to understand are the conclusions we are drawing from data valid? To what extent are they valid? To what extent can we have confidence in what we are seeing? That's what statistics tends to help us with. The other aspect of data science, which is quite key to the field, is programming, computer programming, and artificial intelligence. So that's a little bit nutshell kind of presentation about what data science is all about. What about data analytics? We have data all around us. We generate data every moment. From social media in particular, when we visit websites, we are generating data. So when we try to examine those data sets in order to answer some questions, for example, business questions, then we are doing data analysis. If we want to draw some conclusions, we examine that data in order to determine what kind of conclusions we can draw. This is data analytics. So what does it really entail? So examine the data, try to understand what it contains, what features are there. It could be people's names, people's age, people's addresses, the date they visited their doctor, the kind of medication the doctor prescribed. These are the things when you examine the data, you see therein. Part of that involves cleaning that data because you might find that some things are missing or some things are not spelled very well. So data analytics involves exploring the data in order to understand it, cleaning it if there are missing values to impute them, or even to change the spellings of some things, or even removing some things that are not even useful. For example, hashtags and things like that. So data analytics is about exploring data in order to examine what is there so you can answer some business questions and draw some interesting conclusions that you wouldn't have been able to draw or gain without exploring the data. The third thing I thought I would mention today is what is machine learning? When you hear these terms, they often sound really heavy, really far-fetched, out of reach for most of us. They are not actually. We know what computer programming is about. Computer programming is about writing instructions to a machine to execute. This is what computer programming is all about. Usually we do write instructions to process this data and do some outputs. What machine learning is all about is still about writing programs. But these programs that we write within the realm of machine learning are programs that learn from data in order to support our decision making. So you write a program, expose your program to some data so that it understands the features of that data, so that when it sees new data in future, it can make decisions for you. Sounds interesting? Yes, that's what machine learning is all about. So next time I'm going to talk about what is natural language processing and what it entails, especially how useful it can be in sentiment analysis, and I'll also discuss deep learning. Thank you very much.